Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I just got off the phone with a potential client who was very interested in moving to Bozeman, Montana. So he had a number of questions, so I thought it would be great to jump on here real quick and do a video about the top 10 reasons that people want to move to Bozeman, Montana. And if you've been watching Bozeman real estate, you've probably been asking yourself one question. Is the market finally slowing down? Or is this just another pause before it goes crazy again and explodes? So, right now, beginning of 2026, home prices are hovering somewhere between 615,000 and well above 700,000. And it pretty much depends on which segment of the housing that you're looking at. But the real story isn't price, it's what's happening underneath. So let's do a quick dive into the data and see what that says. So let's break it down logically. Inventory has been rising slightly compared to the ultra tight market of like 21 to 23 during the COVID years. The days on market for homes are increasing, especially above that $1 million range. And there's more price reductions happening, but it's not that dramatic. People aren't saving, $60, $70, or $80,000 off the price. It's something more of less than 10% or so. So what does that really mean? Our housing market, there's not going to be a crash. This is really more of just a rebalancing phase. So what exactly is driving the market? There are three core factors that are still holding up this market. People are still moving here from out of state, like California and Colorado and Washington. The lifestyle here is a premium. You're not just buying a home, but you're buying access to skiing, fly fishing, national parks, all the open space, hiking, biking, fishing, all these great things that I've already mentioned. And the limited land and strict growth patterns, Bozeman isn't expanding indefinitely. Geographically and zoning still restrict the supply, so it's hard to get things built out here. Prices may fluctuate, but long-term pressure remains upward. So if you're a buyer, what are some of the things that you should know right now? This is arguably the best negotiating window in the last 3 to 4 years. You're seeing seller credits, rate buy downs. There's the best properties, they're selling quickly. The homes that are well priced, updated, they show well, and they're in prime locations, those are the ones that are still moving. If you're looking to relocate to Bozeman, everyone's pretty much asking themselves the same thing. Is it actually worth it? Because on one hand, it looks like paradise, right? But on the other, it's very expensive compared to other parts of the country. So let's break it down honestly, all right? Why are people moving here? It's because Bozeman offers something that's rare across the country. It's got that small town feel and world-class access. Within 30 minutes of town, you have 2 great ski resorts, blue ribbon trout fishing, and you're only an hour and a half away from Yellowstone National Park. The cost of living, that is something that is usually a barrier for some people or a surprise when they're first looking into Bozeman. So here's the truth. Bozeman is no longer that cheap Montana that you're always possibly hearing about or heard about in the past. The median home price here right now in Bozeman last month was $850,000. The rent is going to be somewhere between $2, possibly up to $3,500 a month. Groceries and services, things like that, they're well above the national average. But compared to major metropolitan areas like New York City or Los Angeles, Seattle, some of these bigger cities, we're still pretty competitive. So what are the best areas to live is a question I get all the time when moving to Bozeman. A lot of people maybe want to come first and rent for a few months, get the lay of the land, and then go out and find a property. There's a lot of areas within Bozeman and the surrounding areas too. Bozeman proper, if If you want to live close to downtown or within this or within city limits, you have great walkability. They got that energy of a bustling city, but the prices are definitely higher. If you move about 8 miles outside of town, a quick 10-minute drive, you're talking maybe Belgrade or Livingston, where it's a little more affordable. Belgrade's growing super fast. Livingston's kind of a smaller town. It's got about 8,000 people. It's got a little more of that cool character and views, and it's a quieter type of town. You can go further west, about 20 to 30 minutes out, and you're talking about areas like Three Forks or Manhattan, where you get a lot more land and space and value for your money. It really just depends on your choice of lifestyle, not just your budget. A funny question or a funny thing I find out a lot is what most people get wrong about Montana. You know, people think that they're just moving to a town, but you got to keep in mind, Montana's different than a lot of places. We have serious weather extremes here. The inventory for pretty much almost all different types of homes, except for maybe condos within Bozeman. There's a limited inventory. We have a very high demand lifestyle, so that's why it's a very competitive market. And winters here usually are pretty real if you're not used to them. So if you're thinking about moving here, don't just look at the listings. Understand that it's a lifestyle shift from these bigger cities, because that's what you're really buying. Usually someone will always ask about Yellowstone National Park and their tours and how it really works there. We're north of Yellowstone, about 90 miles. And if you're coming to Bozeman and not planning a Yellowstone trip, you're going to be certainly missing out. Why I think winter is actually better for visiting Yellowstone, it transforms it into something completely different than in the summer. What I love about it is there's fewer crowds. The wildlife tends to be out more as there's less crowds, as I was saying. And you can't beat those beautiful snow-covered landscapes that you just don't get to see in the summertime or springtime. This is the time of year when you get to see a lot of wolves and bison and foxes running through the park. Now, for tour options from Bozeman, you'll typically access the park via either Gardner, which is a northern entrance where it has the infamous arch. That's open year-round, or you'll go in through West Yellowstone, which is during the winter snow coach access only. You can do wildlife safari, snowshoe tours, or you can also do private guided tours. Now, what you can expect when you get here, it's not like a casual drive. It's cold, it can be remote, it's wild, but that's exactly what makes it unforgettable and a lifetime of memories. So if you're visiting Bozeman, Yellowstone really isn't an option. Make sure to carve out some time, because it's an experience that defines our entire region. Another question I get about Bozeman when people are thinking about moving here are what are the type of events and restaurants that are around within downtown Bozeman and the surrounding areas. And we might look like a small mountain town, but for our size, I think we punch pretty much above our weight. Events that define our city yearly, we have our Music on Main during the summer. They do about 8 to 10 different concerts on Thursday nights. So they close down Main Street for a couple blocks, and about usually 5,000 to 10,000 people come out every week for that music festival. They have art walks every week also during the summer. Actually celebrate a restaurant week, which usually happens, I believe, in late April. And these events, they turn downtown into a huge party and a social hub. It's really fun to go to them. The food scene here in Bozeman, what surprises most people is the quality. You're going to find a lot of high-end dining, a lot of unique local concepts that you just won't find anywhere else. During the spring patio season, things start to wake up. There's a lot more outdoor seating. You have longer days, so there's longer hours at these restaurants, and a much more smaller community vibe. If you're looking for this type of environment, this is peak livability. So if you want to understand Bozeman, you should just come down and possibly spend one evening downtown and hang out. It'll pretty much tell you everything that you want to know. Now, of course, we are a huge skiing and winter sports destination. We have Bridger Bowl, which is only 16 miles outside of town. It's got raw, more technical terrain. We're Big Sky, which is south of us, Big Sky Resort, or if you're talking about Moonlight Basin or a couple of the other communities up there, I have some other videos you can check out as well. You know, that's more of that high-end skiing at a massive resort scale. There's ones that are open to the public, and of course there's also private communities up there as well. Gallatin Fairgrounds in Bozeman, there's a lot of stuff to do too during the year, or sorry, during the winter, because you ski joring. They got, which is like horse and rider, that with the skiers being pulled over jumps and stuff. It's really cool. It's one of the most unique Montana events you're gonna see around. Why does this matter specifically for buyers, you know, looking for that winter time experience? Because it's not just, you know, the home that you're looking for, it's that lifestyle. You're not just buying that home, but you're buying that proximity to all that great powder, all the trails and the events that are happening around town. So if you ski or you want to learn to ski, Bozeman isn't just a destination, it's a great base camp. There's a lot, of course, outdoor activities other than skiing that attract people here to our area in Bozeman. The outdoors is something that is every day. It's not just your weekend planned, it's your daily environment. You got hiking hot spots like Palisade Falls, Gallatin Canyon trails. There's a whole bunch throughout the canyon. Lots of trails throughout the Bridger Mountain. If you're fishing, you know, I mentioned that blue ribbon trout fishing territory that we have on the Gallatin River, the Madison River, and the Yellowstone River. All of these things is what drives the lifestyle here. It drives the tourism, why are people relocating here, and of course these higher property values. Of course, if you're moving here, you want to know about the job market, and a lot of people specifically want to know about tech and how that's growing here. And Bozeman is quietly becoming something I think unexpected. It's a small tech hub here in the Rockies. What's happening is our growth sectors are tech, a lot of remote work, a lot of engineering, a lot of outdoor brands are here. A lot of these larger companies are coming here because we have a large talent pipeline with MSU being right in town that they can take from. Obviously the lifestyle appeal and lower density compared to putting something in a larger metropolitan market. That has that impact on real estate. With higher incomes comes higher demand, which means higher home prices. So Bozeman isn't just a tourism town anymore. We really do have our own economic growth story happening. And it's been for the over 23 years that I've been out here, we've just been growing nonstop. One thing that's funny about Bozeman, people that either live outside of town or away from downtown, they want to know how parking is if they have to work within town. I'm surprised that I get this question more upfront about Bozeman than other questions, but I guess it makes sense if you're coming from a larger town and you're not used to it. If you park downtown lately, you can already tell with all this population growth that we're starting to have a problem. What's going on is the city is actively and has been actively studying parking demand, traffic flow, what future plans and infrastructure are going to be. They already built one parking garage about a decade ago, and we're pretty much to the point where we probably are going to need another one here soon. With all this growth, there's all this pressure on our infrastructure, and a lot of people moving here want that walkability to downtown, which is becoming more valuable than ever. I always get a question, no matter what, about the TV show Yellowstone and its impact on the area. And did it really change our real estate market? And in Montana, the overall answer to that is yes. The show amplified demand here, visibility. Obviously, everybody saw the beautiful landscapes, and that, again, they romanticized the Montana lifestyle, so everyone started to want to be here. But not everybody lives on a ranch, but the idea sells. Because of that show, definitely a lot of luxury and land demand, luxury homes and land demand surged. And we had a lot more sales of out-of-state people buying properties over $1 million. Obviously, the show didn't create Montana. It just helped reveal it again to the world and have everyone fall in love with it. It's kind of why I did. Actually, the last question that I get a lot of about coming to Bozeman is, when and what is that MSU Spring Rodeo like? It happens every year. If you want to see true Montana culture, you got to do yourself a favor and go to it, because this is it. The MSU Spring Rodeo features college athletes surrounded in a packed arena, all days competition, high energy. It's a lot of fun, blends to our local traditions and the community, along with all the youth. And it's not just a show you bring your family. It's an entire experience. It's a lifestyle. So these are the 10 questions that I've been getting recently here at the beginning of 2026. If you have any questions about moving to Bozeman, feel free to reach out. Feel free to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we'll update you when the next video is coming out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.